Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and lately, since the Turning Tides, well the first half of Turning Tides DLC has come out with all the new weapons, people have been comparing the Carcano M91 to the Gewehr M95 quite a bit, and some even saying that it is much better than the Gewehr M95. Now the reason for this is because they are the only two bolt-action rifles which don't possess a sweet spot, and what the sweet spot is basically, it's the range at which a sniper rifle can do 100 damage to the chest and one-shot an enemy. Now all the other bolt-action rifles in the game possess a sweet spot, of course, except the Russian 1895 Cavalry and the Russian 1895 Trench, which don't possess a sweet spot, and also the M1903 Experimental because it has that Peterson device attached to it, but except those, these are the only two bolt-action rifles that don't possess a sweet spot and aren't an exception to the sweet spot rule, even though some of their variants do possess a sweet spot. So the question bears in mind, which of these two is better suited for your playstyle? Now, obviously, for a sniper rifle like this, it's best used in closer quarter engagements, and that's where you would want to use it, and that's where it excels at. Now, if we are talking statistics, I can show both stats on screen right now. So the Carcano has a maximum damage of 85 and a minimum damage of 54. Drop-off points are 19 meters, so basically after 19 meters, the damage starts going down, and at 91 meters, it will reach the minimum of 54. As for the Gewehr M95 sniper rifle, the maximum damage is 90, it starts dropping off at 20, and at 125 meters, it reaches the minimum, which is 79. Now, granted, they don't have that much of a difference. For maximum damage, the minimum damage is enough to actually make a difference. Now, if you shoot somebody in the head at the maximum range with the Carcano M91, you won't one-shot kill an enemy, which is not to say the same with the Gewehr M95. At any range, if you hit somebody in the head with the M95, you will one-shot them in the head. So that's one of the strong points for the Gewehr M95. Now, moving on to the rest of the stats. So the fire rate for the Carcano is 73 rounds per minute. For the Gewehr M95, it's 66. The muzzle velocity for the Carcano is 700 meters per second, and the muzzle velocity for the M95 is 620 meters per second. And pretty much the only other stat that they have different is the Carcano has 6 rounds in the strip clip, and the Gewehr M95 has 5 rounds. Also, just to side note, there is no statistics on Synthic regarding reload time, but I feel when I play the game that the reload time on the M95 is faster than the Carcano. I feel like the Carcano takes forever to reload, and that is one of the reasons why I prefer the M95. On top of that, the M95 obviously has different variants. As for the Carcano, you are stuck with the iron sight variant, which is the carbine, and but for the Gewehr M95, you have the infantry variant, which is the iron sights. You have the marksman, which is obviously the scope, and then you have the carbine variant, which is those optics that come out of the top of the gun with your choice of whatever reticle you want to put on there. Now, if we base this decision purely on stats, obviously the Carcano has the most amount of stats that have an advantage over the M95, but if we base this off of overall gameplay and damage, which is a big factor in weapon choosing in Battlefield 1, obviously you want your weapon to do decent damage at decent ranges, especially when you're using bolt-action rifles. I mean, usually I use bolt-action rifles in medium to long-range combat. Sometimes I'll go into closer range combat if I'm using a bolt-action rifle, which doesn't possess a sweet spot, and my choice would always go towards the Gewehr M95. I just feel that it shoots so much better for some reason. The Carcano just feels clunky to me, and also the reload on the M95 feels a lot faster. I don't have any stats on the reload. I would actually have to do frame by frame to see how long each reload is, and I think I will do that eventually just to have the answer for myself, and I might put in the comments down below. Yeah, the Gewehr M95 for me is always my top pick if I'm looking for a sniper that shoots fast, does decent damage, can pretty much one-shot enemies at any range in the head, and has more than one variant. I am one for the marksman variant for the Gewehr M95, and the Carcano M91 just doesn't cut it for me. I feel like you have to use it at too much of a close range for it to be effective. I mean, within if you shoot any further than like 41 meters, you're not even going to get a kill. Assist counts as kill, and that's actually quite sad. You hit the enemy for like 74 damage, 74.9 damage, and just doesn't cut it to get the kill. Assist counts as kill, even though you did the most of the work. So for me, Gewehr M95 all the way if I'm looking for a sniper which doesn't have a sweet spot or a higher rate of fire. I mean, at this point, for 7 round per minute difference, it's not really that big of a difference. I mean, if it was like 20 or 30, then the Carcano might actually be worth it for me. But for the 7 rounds per minute that shoots faster, and the 80 meters per second at which the bullet goes through the air faster, it's just not that worth it, seeing as you're not really firing at long ranges. So you don't really need to lead all that much when you're using these types of weapons. So for me, Gewehr M95 all the way. I want to know what you guys think about these 2 different bolt action rifles. Which one you prefer, the Gewehr M95 or the Carcano M91? And while you're down there, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to join our Discord server, link in the description down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.